I am so excited to share that on July 24th, we are planning to channel some extra state pride, and we're going to party like it's 2002 right here at Washington Square. A large delegation of us will travel to Paris later this month at the start of the Summer Games, and we'll be giving our final presentation to the IOC, the International Olympic Committee. We expect them to vote that day on whether Salt Lake City will actually succeed in striking gold on our bid to host the 2034 Olympic and Paralympic Games. Some of you might remember the iconic celebrations that happened right here in 1995 when we were chosen to host the 2002 Winter Games. When they vote yes. Thanks, but that's not going to be loud enough on the 24th. We're going to need several thousand of you doing that. So we're inviting all Salt Lakers, all Utahns, and anyone who wants to come join us in this historic occasion. Come here to Washington Square in Salt Lake City. Here's the catch. Our presentation in Salt Lake City time is in the wee hours of the time standard here in Salt Lake, 3 a.m. So we're asking you to come bright and early, right here to Washington Square, and we'll reward you with a parade later that morning on Pioneer Day. Because it's so early, we'll be live streaming the event, the presentation, and the vote on large screens here at Washington Square. And I know it's early, so we've arranged for food trucks. There will be breakfast served. There will be lots of caffeinated beverages. And most of all, hopefully your adrenaline at 3 in the morning. We want you to bring your friends, your family, and kids, because we're going to be making a new core memory as a community on July 24th in the darkness of the early morning hours. I think it will be special for our youth, especially, not only because they're going to have a chance to be a part of that moment and that new memory as a community, but hopefully in 10 years, they will also be competing to represent Team USA, and we will be cheering them on. I want to thank our tremendous partners at the Utah Sports Commission. You will hear from Jeff Robbins in just a moment. They are sponsoring the event on July 24th here. I also want to thank the Salt Lake Chamber, the Downtown Alliance, Visit Salt Lake, and the Utah League of Cities and Towns for their commitments to this event as well. Because the partnerships we're forging like these will be impactful for so long. They will be impactful beyond the date that we extinguish the torch at the end of the Winter Olympic and Paralympic Games in 10 years. This is the community building that we're talking about. So thank you for showing up today, and I can't wait to hear your calls from Paris on 2034, or rather as we celebrate 2034 with the vote on July 24th. I'm going to turn the time over now to Kat Rainey Norman, followed by Jeff Robbins.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out here and learning a little bit more about Celebrate 2034. We are so grateful to our partners with the city, the Salt Lake Chamber, Visit Salt Lake, Utah Sports Commission. All of them raised their hands up and said, how can we help bring our community together for this incredible moment that we are going to have, hopefully in just 16 days from now. And so thank you to all of them. This is just a true example of how we bring our community together and how we uplift one another. And I know, and I feel it in my heart that when we get that nod, when we get that yes, that's going to happen in 16 days from now, our community is going to change. Our youth are going to be inspired, and they're going to be chasing their dreams for the next 10 years. So thank you so much to our partners for coming out and supporting this. To our community members, I cannot wait to see you all virtually from Paris. We will be live streaming. We are going to be looking for you. I'm hoping that you all will be posting. I'm looking for the best pajama outfit at 3 a.m. in red, white, and blue. I hope that that's out there, but thank you so much to each of you all, and I really look forward to 16 days from now celebrating with each of you. And I'll now turn the time over to our partner, Jeff Robbins. Thank you.
Thank you, Kat. What an incredible day this is. Look at the weather we have and this great view that in 10 years we'll have the world here. Seeing what we're enjoying today, it's remarkable. If you haven't heard this by now, I was told to say it again. Celebrate 2034. And what we're doing today is not only iconic, but it's also a chance to have the state celebrate not just our communities here along the Wasatch Front. Certainly they'll do that. We'll have tremendous opportunities to have a gathering here. But you'll see activities taking place throughout the state. When we started this journey over 20 years ago, so it was actually before the Olympics, we started a legacy program, a Sport Olympic Legacy Program. We've hosted almost 1,100 events since then. Significant impact. And so as we look at the partnerships, the one thing the mayor and I have talked about, Kat and I have talked about, is we coined a phrase about our secret sauce. And the secret sauce is we partner, we work together, we unify. And one of the key reasons that we are now hopefully getting the games, we're a little more optimistic than that, aren't we, Mayor? I think we're going to get the games, but that's off record for all the press, is how we come together and unify as partners. Thanks to all of the people, the groups, organizations that have helped on this event and that will help on it. Days of 47 Rodeo, what an incredible, iconic event. That is Days of 47 Parade. Look at all the things that are happening around that iconic day. And so we're thrilled to be part of it. When we were asked if we would support this event, I said, we've got to support this event. It's the right thing to do. It's something that you will remember, our kids will remember, and that, as the mayor said, will really go down in history. So thanks, everybody. Looking forward to a great event. Mayor, thank you for your leadership. Kat, thanks for your leadership as well.
Thank you, Dan. We're happy to take a couple of questions from media if there are any. Yes.
It's mostly for Jeff, I think, but you mentioned that there'll be celebrations across the state. Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Will it be live streamed to other parts of your state?
Yeah, Kat can talk about that as well. There will be other locations that also have activities taking place. I think in the press release that TK sent out, that will highlight some of them. But Kat, if you want to talk some about that.
Yeah, happy to share a little bit about that. Our partners up in Park City are going to be hosting an event as well on the 24th at Utah Olympic Park, as well as I believe in the city, and again those details are in the press release. And then also to our partners at the Utah League of Cities and Towns, they're helping to activate across the various communities across the state and really starting to sort of rally everyone together. So really grateful to, again, this is just a true example of our community raising their hands up, coming together and saying how can we celebrate and spread the Olympic and Paralympic movement across all of our communities.
For the Salt Lake residents that don't think the 3 a.m. event, I know that's where you sent advice that is at. Is there something going to the city to celebrate that day?
That's a great question. I will be in Paris that day. So I'm not quite sure how long the celebrations will go on, but typically we have people who camp out on the east side of Washington Square here waiting for the parade every year. And those festivities go until the parade ends. So I think that you can count on being able to celebrate here through the parade beyond the 3 a.m. Vote that will happen in presentation, and probably continuing at Liberty Park with the traditional celebrations that the city helps to host every year on July 24th. I'm not sure that they're technically coordinated with the bid committee though.
In anticipation of getting that yes, what is next for the city as far as facilities, et cetera? What's the next step you're taking?
Yeah, and Kat can speak to this too. I think we're really trying not to get out ahead of our skis on organization. We need this vote to happen. We don't take it for granted. And when the vote happens, however it happens, we will be prepared to make those next steps of transitioning our committee and our all of the input that we receive right now through many people in the state who want to be a part of organizing the games in the future. But at this point, we don't have announcements yet about what exactly those technical steps would be. Kat, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think the mayor articulated that quite well. You know, we are obviously hoping for an award in 16 days from now, and then we will take the necessary measures and steps to transition into an organizing committee and continue to work with our community partners and various stakeholders within youth sport groups as well as on the international side to really kind of develop what our 10-year runway is going to look like. There'll be a tremendous emphasis on community early on and on youth sport early on, but we also need to continue to take some time to evaluate exactly what measures we're going to be taking initially and working together with our various community partners, the city, Park City, West Valley, Provo, all of these different communities that are going to be hosting events, and then also reaching out into our rural communities as well and what that looks like. So we will stand up the building blocks, but then we'll take some time to listen to our communities and start to formulate some strategies around how we can continue to engage our community and youth.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I guess the 3 a.m. stuff, that the presentation starts now. Is there sort of a time frame where like the presentation plays can go out? For people who are maybe coming in later, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, happy to share. So we are slotted at 11 a.m. Paris time to begin our final presentation to the International Olympic Committee. That presentation should last about 30 to 35 minutes, and we'll have speakers including the mayor, myself, Fraser Bullock, the governor, Lindsey Vonn, and Paralympian Danny Arabach will also be on stage presenting. After our presentation will be a few moments for question and answer with the IOC if they have any questions of us, and then from there we anticipate them taking a vote. So between 3 a.m. and 4:30 a.m. I'm hoping you all are caffeinated and celebrating. It's like hopefully celebrating 2034 is the best pajama party ever, right? So that is our time frame and when we anticipate an announcement and award from there.
All right, thank you.